The International Ice Hockey Federation Ice Hockey World Junior Championships, the tournament of the best U20 players in the world available to each nation participating annually during the holiday season. And as the 42nd tournament continues, here's a quick history of the World Juniors. The World Juniors started as an invitational tournament in the Soviet Union in 1974. The tournament would be reheld in 1975 and 1976, with the Soviet Union capturing the gold medals in Canada and the United States and Finland, respectively. In 1977, the IIHF would officially recognize and sanction the tournament, meaning previous tournaments don't actually count towards official statistics. The Soviet Union would go on to win the first 4 official tournaments. This entire era was dominated in both the junior and senior stage by the Soviet Union. However, Sweden would be the first non-Soviet team to capture the gold in 1981, and Canada captured its first in the following season. In the early era of the World Juniors, names like Slava Fetisov, Wayne Gretzky, Pele Lindbergh, Jari Kurri would all participate. Finland would win its first gold medal in 1987, and the 1987 tournament would be remembered as the most infamous tournament to date. On January 4th, 1987, rivals Canada and the Soviet Union would play in Piestany, Slovakia, then Czechoslovakia. Canada, with 9 points, could tie Finland for first, but they would need to surpass Finland in goals differential to win the actual gold medal. The Soviets were destined for 5th place at the time of the start of the game. In a chippy, tense, hate-filled game, it was a matter of time before hostilities flared, and with 6:07 remaining in the second period, Canada and the Soviet Union began a brawl. Evgeny Davidov would leave the bench, causing both teams to empty their benches. Only 2 players from Canada would not be suspended for their actions. Goaltender Jimmy Waite and forward Pierre Turgeon did not participate in the fighting. However, all of the Soviet players were suspended, and both teams were disqualified from the 1987 tournament, but a significant portion of the 2 rosters returned for the following year after suspensions were reduced. In the following year, 1988, Canada would win the gold, and Jimmy Waite would be named goaltender of the tournament. The Soviets would win their final gold medal in 1989. In 1990, Canada played Czechoslovakia with a slim chance at the gold medal. They would need Sweden to either beat or tie the Soviet Union. And in fact, Sweden and the Soviet Union did tie 5-5 after a 3-goal barrage by Sweden, and Canada would actually take the gold medal in a very bizarre turn of events. Off the ice, the Soviet Union officially dissolved on December 25, 1991. The first post-Cold War World Junior gold medalists were the Commonwealth of Independent States in 1992 and recently reunified Germany. This team was comprised of players from the former Soviet Union. Former NHLer Alexei Kovalev was the captain of the 1992 CIS team. However, on an odd side note, the CIS team had 2 players not from the official CIS. Sergei Sholtok and Sandis Ozolinsh, who were both Latvian, and Latvia wasn't actually part of the political CIS. In the 1993 tournament, a major national change occurred involving then Czechoslovakia. Czechoslovakia dissolved into the Czech Republic and Slovakia in 1993, and as the tournament continued, the nations were still playing with each other. At the same time, this was the first tournament appearance of the Russian Federation, who in their first game against Japan logged their biggest win for their U20 team that still stands at the time of this recording, 13-0. As the 1990s continued, Canada became the dominant nation in a post-Cold War hockey landscape. Canada won every single year of the 1990s except for 1992, 1998, and 1999. Names like Jaromir Jagr, Pavel Bure, Doug Weight, Eric Lindros, Peter Forsberg, Marcus Naslund, Saku Koivu, Jerome McGinley, Scott Niedermayer, Jose Theodore, Mika Kiprusoff, Marian Hossa, Daniel Henrik Sedin, and Roberto Luongo would all play for their respective countries in the decade. 1996 was the first year with an actual tournament format. Previous years were played under round robin to determine the gold medal. Canada won these games, and in the gold medal game, 2 goals by Damon Langkow would help Canada win 4-1. In the 2000s, other nations emerged in the tournament. The Czech Republic went back-to-back at the start of the millennium, winning their first and second gold medals respectively. And in 2004, the United States captured its first gold medal in bizarre fashion, after Canadian goaltender Marc-Andre Fleury cleared the puck into his own net off his teammate, Braden Coburn. This goal was credited to Patrick O'Sullivan, and the Americans had their first gold medal. However, Canada would dominate the decade as well, medaling in every single year, including 5 straight golds between 2005 and 2009. Almost no tournament was as star-studded as the 2005 tournament, though. Sidney Crosby, Patrice Bergeron, Ryan Getzlaf, and Jeff Carter for Canada, Evgeny Malkin, Alex Ovechkin, Alexei Yemelin, and Alexander Radulov for Russia, Ryan Suter, Phil Kessel for the Americans, and this tournament would go to Canada as well. However, for Canadian hockey fans, the 2009 tournament might be the most memorable, as it had the 3-0 comeback versus the United States, which saw John Tavares get a hat trick and a 7-4 win in round robin play, and then the Canadians, led by Jordan Eberle, had a game-tying goal in the semis against Russia, which was infamously commentated by one Pierre Maguire.
Filatov picks it up. Filatov with time to the line. Ellis knocks it down. They battle on the wall for it. Ellis in there as well. Boychuk looking for it. Tavares pulls it out. Tavares backhand towards the goal. Loose puck. Eberle scores! Tie game! Can you believe it? I can.
Overtime couldn't settle the game, and eventually Canada did win in a shootout, also led by Eberle, and the Canadians would later beat Sweden for the gold in Ottawa. However, since 2009, the United States has actually been the most dominant team, winning 3 gold medals and 4 medals overall. Finland captured 2 gold medals, and Russia and Sweden each have 1 gold medal. Canada, who a decade prior were extremely dominant, only has 1 gold medal in this time frame, in 2015 in Canada. Nino Niederreiter, Alex Pietrangelo, Derek Stepan, Vladimir Tarasenko, Evgeny Kuznetsov, Braden Shen, Mark Scheifele, Nathan McKinnon, Johnny Gaudreau, Jonathan Huberdeau, Teuvo Teravainen, Philip Forsberg, Connor McDavid, Max Domi, Austin Matthews, Matthew Tkachuk, Clayton Keller, Thomas Chabot, and Matthew Barzal would all participate in this era of the tournament. For Finland, their 2016 gold medal run was one of the most dominant performances in the tournament's history. They had the top 3 scorers in the tournament in Jesse Puljujarvi, Sebastian Aho, and Patrick Laine, and they were on home ice. They won it all in Helsinki in overtime against the Russians 4-3 after the goal by Kasperi Kapanen in the opening minutes of overtime. In the 2018 edition of the tournament, there will be an outdoor game for the first time. In this outdoor game, the Americans and Canadians will do battle in Orchard Park, New York. What makes the World Juniors so special is that we're seeing the future of the game, whether the NHL or otherwise. It takes center stage. It is, as the year ends, the future of the game draws ever closer. It is incredibly captivating for someone who loves hockey. And in 2018, the following questions will be asked. Will the Americans repeat? Will Canada return to glory? Will Finland capture the gold, as some have projected? Or will another storyline take center stage? All of these questions will be answered, but one thing is for certain, it's one of the best tournaments in the world.